Hello my fellow pest exterminators. In this video I will present you 10 hints on how to improve your score in the new PvE Hunting Grounds game mode. In this game mode you need to destroy spider bombs and spider artillery opponents that try to hunt you down. The more you destroy, the more rewards you get. The first part of this video will cover 4 basic hints that should allow you to arrive 2nd or 3rd place regularly. In the second part of this video we will look into 4 advanced hints that you can use to end up in 1st place. And in the third part of this video I will present you a couple of more thoughts that you can use to your advantage if you aim to maximize your personal high score. So let's start with the basics, which is all about choices. In Hunting Grounds you can currently spawn on 1 out of 3 maps, Dead City, Shenzhen and Rome. They are quite different in their layout and there are good tactical spots in all of them. Dead City has a small open area in the center and 2 corridors surrounding it on each side that allow you to lead the spiders to great strategic locations on the map. Shenzhen has a large open area in the center, which gives you great visibility of your targets, and 1 main corridor on each side that you can use to drag spiders towards certain gateways towards the open area. Rome has a few large open areas and 1 covered area surrounding the central Colosseum landmark. With its hills and occasional covers, it may be the most difficult map to play from a tactical perspective, while Shenzhen with its straightforward layout is the easiest one. For each of these 3 maps you should memorize the spawning locations of the spiders and some spots that can come in handy if you want to hit multiple opponents at once. On Dead City, for example, there are narrow passageways between corridors, and the 2 ramps on the backside of the map that you can use to cram spider bombs into a single eye of a needle. On Shenzhen there are narrow passageways between the open area and the corridors, and on Rome there are a few tactical covers spotted around the hilly open areas. A certain number of mostly older robots are sort of randomly assigned to your hangar in the beginning, currently 3 robots per battle. Each robot has strengths and weaknesses, and it helps if you have played all of them before on the battlefield. If not, jump into a custom game. There you can get a feeling for the robot's abilities, how fast they are, how long their jumps are and how much the cooldown time of the abilities is. Especially with jumping robots you can easily get stuck on random features of the map. This can be quite frustrating as you lose time that the spiders will use to catch up to you. Also, speed is very important. With the slow and bulky Griffin, for example, you will have more issues to escape than with the small and agile Strider. The Hellburner, the Aoguang and the Aoqin have abilities that deal damage, which makes them strong in this game mode if you get the timing right. A few types of coherent weapon sets get randomly assigned to your robots, except the HMGs, they're all a bit older. It is important to know that some of the mechanics of these weapons have changed in comparison to the live server, especially when it comes to reload time. For some weapons, reload time has drastically decreased. You need to get a feeling for it. The best for this is simply learning by doing. Out of all weapons, rockets and flamethrowers are the most efficient ones to use against groups of spider bombs. Shotguns, especially Gust and Storm, are very effective on close range. HMGs and machine guns are effective against single targets if you manage to keep them at some distance. I would not recommend you to choose machine gun setups, at least at this point of the game today, because they will not allow you to kill as many opponents in a certain time frame than the other weapon types. Also, you will run into issues quite quickly when groups of spider bombs manage to come into close distance. Your tactics can vary depending on what you want to achieve. If you go for a safe goal score, usually you need to play a bit more conservatively and concentrate on keeping your targets at a distance. This mostly works if you drag groups of spider bombs behind you. If you go for a new personal high score, your tactic needs to be a bit more aggressive, so instead of you being hunted down by the spiders, you need to take more initiative and hunt them down as well, otherwise you will not be able to get enough kills in a short time. But keep in mind that you cannot always do that. Sometimes you are simply unlucky and the setups that you can choose from will not allow you to achieve any new high score. I would recommend you to spawn your strongest build first. Sometimes you will manage to stay in the battle with this one build only. In case you should get destroyed, I would recommend you to spawn your 2nd strongest build afterwards instantly. Time is ticking away and the more time you have left, the more spiders you can kill. How can you identify the strongest build? The answer is, you need to get a bit of experience in order to identify it just by looking at your hangar the first time. It's usually the one that has the best combination of agility and firepower. Some builds that I found particularly effective are Rocket or Flame Strider, Storm HE, a Rocket Auquin and a Hellburner with rockets or flames. With these hints on the 4 basic choices, you should now be able to get silver scores in each battle. So let's come to a few more advanced hints that should allow you to reach a gold score, if you don't make any mistakes. We already spoke about choices of robots, weapons, maps and tactics, but the small difference between a silver score and a gold score is often the ability of your robots and how you use it. There are 3 robots with offensive abilities, the Hellburner, the Auquang and the Auquin. These abilities will allow you to kill additional opponents, so they allow you to play a bit more aggressive playstyle. Dash bots, jumping bots and the Carnage have defensive abilities that allow you to speed up, so if you are going for a safe gold score, you should use them when you are in a difficult situation and save them up as long as you can beforehand. Demander has a very special ability. It is the only robot in the lineup that allows you to heal back health points. In the beginning of the game, the best thing that can happen to you is that you start with a Hellburner or an Auquin with splash damage weapons, because if you play these smartly and keep them alive, it's much easier to get a gold score. With the Hellburner, you need to time your ability such that you just run into groups of spiders when the explosion goes off. This will allow you to save a lot of ammo and play more aggressively. The Auquin ability lets you kill spiders at further distance. This is very useful against artillery and for killing spiders that are outside of groups. Like this, you don't need to waste your splash damage on solitary spiderlings. If you don't have any Hellburner or Auquin in your lineup, the next best thing to choose are Dashbots. Their abilities allow you to escape critical situations very fast if you save them up for the right moment. Demander is also a good choice, but only if you don't get one with machine guns. For getting a gold score regularly, you should learn how to move in an optimized way on each of the 3 maps. This basically means try to take direct trails from point A to point B if you run away. This means in most cases move in a straight line along a corridor or along the periphery of an open area. Identify and avoid corners and buildings where you can get stuck. This is especially important if you use jumping or dash bots. Once you're comfortable with this, you should train to take these trails backwards without running into obstacles. Finally, you should exercise to shoot at targets at the same time. So in summary, for any of the builds that you use, try to get yourself to a point where you can move the most common paths backwards, avoiding obstacles without getting stuck, ideally in a straight line from point A to point B, while shooting at your opponent simultaneously. This ain't always easy in a battle, so a good way to exercise this again is a custom game. When you shoot with a particular weapon, you will notice that some of the mechanics have been changed in comparison to the live server. Reload times and ammo capacity for shotguns and rockets have been adjusted to the game mode. So what helps is to try to memorize how many shots a spider needs to get destroyed, so that you don't waste your ammo. For shotguns, this is proportional to the distance to the target. For rockets and flamethrowers, distance influences how much you need to lead your target. You have to pay special attention when there is a vertical level difference between you and your target, especially on roam map. This will make you miss lots of ammo if you don't lead your target correctly. There is one more factor that allows you to shoot more efficiently, and this is the targeting system. The targeting system is not always ideal and often does not allow you to shoot the target that you want to shoot in any given moment. So you should exercise to switch targets fast by using manual locking, and get a feeling to which target the system will jump next. Because unfortunately, as it is on a live server, this is not always intuitive. Also, if you suffer from lag, you need to lead a spider bomb target more than you probably think. Just try it out by shooting your rockets and flamethrowers a little bit further ahead of your targets than what your feeling indicates when you watch your screen. You may find that your targets die much faster because you hit them better. You can interact with your targets by changing your location. Spider bombs will simply follow you, and artillery will change its target area in order to hit you. You can use this to your advantage by trying to do 2 things. You can try to group your opponents, and you can try to lead them to particular spots. The most useful spots to lead them to are tight spots in corridors, mostly at the periphery of open areas. The most dangerous thing that can happen to you is if you are being flanked by spiders. In these situations, you need to anticipate an escape route and try to kill all spiders in the way in this particular route while running away from the others. The best tactic to prevent this is to anticipate the spawn location of the spiders and avoid to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. With regard to artillery, keep in mind that there are big targets that are easy to kill, and mostly they spawn in very accessible locations too, so if you get these out of the way from time to time, you have one headache less to deal with. When applying these 4 advanced hints, you should now be able to get gold scores in each battle, if you do not make any mistakes. So this brings me to the last part of this video, with a couple of additional hints that will hopefully allow you to reach new personal high scores beyond 150 kills a bit faster. If you go for personal high scores, the playstyle is a bit different than going for a safe gold score, because you need to be much more aggressive, otherwise you won't find enough spiders to kill. But with more aggressive gameplay you also expose yourself more, which means that it is more likely that you make mistakes. Mistakes can be to get stuck, to not anticipate spider spawns, or to get flanked by spider bombs. There is a saying which is, don't make the same mistake twice. The second time you make it, it's not a mistake, it's a choice. This is especially important for this game mode because the amount of battles that you play is limited. If you have some money to spare, you can of course buy some more battles in a War Robot shop that will allow you to increase the probability to end up with a map and a setup to improve your personal high score, if you are that competitive. Because if you buy it for just the resources, it's not worth it. There are better offers in the shop these days. Apart from just playing more, the best thing that you can do to learn from mistakes is to record your own gameplay and watch it afterwards. Free screen recorders are available for any device, and it will allow you to analyze your mistakes so you don't make them again. And it's free, so why not use this tool? And speaking about recording gameplay, this brings me to my final hint. This is maybe the most important hint to give you if you go for a personal high score. Don't try to do the same thing over and over again if it had not worked before. And if you keep getting stuck at 163 kills or so, try something different. So what can you try? For giving you a first idea, there are plenty of YouTube videos out there from very skillful players that show you how they achieved high scores, and they are happy to share, so just watch these videos, it's free knowledge. At the moment, the confirmed world record for killed spiders is something around 230, but there is a chance that the number is even higher, simply because it has not been recorded and advertised, so only Pixonic knows the exact current number. But it is also important to realize when you waste your time. If your high score is 210 and you aim higher, a player bragging about how he achieved 170 is probably not going to help you with any additional hints that you not already know. One of the character traits of the best players is that they always try to improve. So don't let yourself limit by what you or other players already know. Dare to try out new things. This is also important because Pixonic continuously improves the PvE format. So in a few weeks from now, you may run into completely different spiders, different robot setups, or even new game modes. So be prepared and be ready to adapt. Fortune favors the brave. So with these last thoughts, I hope that you found this video useful for improving your PvE score. Thanks a lot for watching and see you on my channel.